So for my location, I chose Valley Forge, which is the encampment where George Washington's army spent the winter in 1777 to 1778. I'm going to talk specifically about its role in the Revolutionary era and how different interpretations of its importance have reflected how it's been preserved and why a field trip would be valuable in teaching students about the Revolution. So despite the fact that Valley Forge wasn't the site of a major battle, it did become a defining moment of the Revolutionary War. Obviously, during the winter, Washington's army was left there with shortages of things like food, clothing, and shelter. Out of 12,000 soldiers, nearly 2,000 of them died from disease and exposure. But one thing that makes this location so iconic is that the hardship that was faced there forged resilience. Historian Wayne Bodle says in his The Valley Forge Winter, Civilians and Soldiers in War, that the encampment was both a site of struggle and survival, but it was also a site of military reform. The training of Baron von Steuben, as described by Edward Lengel's work, General George Washington, helped transform the Continental Army into a disciplined and professional fighting force. So Valley Forge represents both a place of suffering and perseverance that would shape the revolutionary cause. After the Revolution, Valley Forge was preserved as a symbol of national endurance. In the late 19th century, organizations in the state of Pennsylvania took steps to protect the site of Valley Forge, and in 1976, it became a National Historical Park. In Washington's Crossing by David Hackett Fischer, he emphasizes that the preservation of Valley Forge was not just about protecting the physical space and the physical location, but also preserving the memory of the events that took place there for future generations. Today you can see reconstructed huts, monuments, and Washington's headquarters, which allow visitors to imagine the conditions that soldiers faced while they were there. And preservation efforts have attempted to strike a balance between the commemoration of what happened as well as the historical accuracy, ensuring that the site is both a reflection of heroism as well as a realistic story. So historians have interpreted Valley Forge in a couple different ways. One interpretation emphasizes the heroism and the sacrifice, a place where the revolution could have failed, but instead it gained a lot of strength, which is kind of the traditional patriotic narrative, which is tied to the memory preserved in the 19th and 20th centuries. As Bodle points out, another interpretation focuses on the social history, which highlights the suffering of ordinary soldiers, the contributions of women who were helping, and the tensions between the officers and enlisted men. With this perspective, Valley Forge is less a site where myth endures, but instead a site that reveals the cost of war as well as the human toll of revolution. As a field trip location, Valley Forge is interesting because it offers a lot of educational value. Students are able to walk through the physical space, visit exhibits in the museums, and kind of see the physical scale of the environment and the encampment that the soldiers were at. They're able to stand in the same place that Washington's army nearly collapsed, and it helps them move beyond written sources and textbooks and gain more of a human understanding about what they were experiencing. Fisher suggests that experiencing sites like Valley Forges allows them to engage with both reality and symbolism, especially when it comes to revolutionary struggle. So a field trip here would make lessons about things like perseverance and sacrifice transform in a way that can't be done in a classroom lecture, for instance. In conclusion, Valley Forge is an interesting place because it symbolizes the endurance of the Continental Army. It's been preserved as a national historical park, and has been interpreted in a couple different ways. So visiting the site offers unique opportunities for students to connect with the lived experiences of the revolutionary generation that they would maybe miss in the written sources.